They told us Atlantis was just a Greek myth, that it was somewhere near the Mediterranean, maybe Spain, maybe the Aegean Sea. Western historians, documentaries, and school books repeated the same tired line. It's fiction, don't take it seriously. But here's the question they don't want you to ask. What if the real Atlantis wasn't in the West at all? What if the greatest lost city in human history was always in India, and they've known it all along? Because off the coast of Gujarat, beneath the roaring Arabian Sea, lie ruins of an ancient city, Dwarka. And not just any city. According to Indian scriptures, it was built by a god, ruled with unmatched sophistication, and swallowed by the ocean in a single, tragic event. Sound familiar? They dismissed it as mythology, until underwater sonar told a different story. The West ignored it, the media buried it, but the evidence, it's still there. Long before the Western world romanticized Atlantis as the crown jewel of lost civilizations, ancient India had already told a remarkably similar and arguably more profound story. In 360 BCE, the Greek philosopher Plato wrote of a powerful island nation called Atlantis, a society blessed with immense wealth, sophisticated urban planning, engineered canals, glittering temples, and rulers said to be descended from gods. But this utopia grew corrupt, arrogant, and decadent. As punishment, the gods unleashed a catastrophe. In a single day and night, the entire city was swallowed by the sea. That's the story you have heard, the one plastered across documentaries, novels, Hollywood blockbusters, and endless ancient mystery theories in the West. But here's the part they never tell you. Centuries before Plato even existed, a vastly older civilization, India, had already recorded a strikingly similar story in staggering detail. The sacred texts of the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana describe a city called Dwarka, built not by men but by Lord Krishna, an incarnation of the divine. This was no ordinary city. Dwarka was described as a marvel of celestial engineering, floating palaces, grand boulevards, lakes filled with lotus flowers, elaborate seaports, and infrastructure so advanced that it challenges even modern urban planning. It was said to shimmer like a second sun, echoing with divine music and the rhythms of life. But then came the end. When Krishna left the mortal world, the ocean, almost as if bound by destiny, rose with fury and reclaimed Dwarka, drowning its golden spires and celestial halls beneath the waves. The city vanished. All that remained were stories, passed down for thousands of years, not just through scripture but through song, dance, temple carvings, and folk memory. Here's what should make you pause. Plato's Atlantis is based on a single written account, mentioned in just two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. Yet it has been elevated to a legendary status in Western academia and pop culture. Meanwhile, Dwarka appears in dozens of ancient Indian sources, is tied to a living religious tradition practiced by over 1 billion people, and has even left behind underwater ruins discovered off the coast of Gujarat. These ruins align with the ancient descriptions almost too well. Still, to most of the world, Dwarka remains a myth. So we must ask, why is a single Western narrative embraced as mystery and potential truth, while a deeply rooted Eastern history, backed by text, culture, and archaeology, is brushed off as religious fantasy? Could it be because acknowledging the reality of Dwarka would mean rewriting the very foundations of what we believe about the origins of civilization? Could it be that we've been trained, subtly, systemically, to look toward Greece and Rome as the beginning of sophistication while ignoring what lies beneath the Indian Ocean? The hypocrisy is glaring, the evidence is mounting, and the truth, it's waiting underwater. Dwarka was a lived memory, yet for centuries only one story made it into the textbooks. In 2001, something happened that should have made global headlines. A discovery that, by all logic, should have forced every historian, archaeologist, and textbook publisher to stop, reconsider, and rewrite the very timeline of human civilization. Off the western coast of India, in the Gulf of Khambhat, marine scientists from the National Institute of Ocean Technology, NIOT, detected something buried beneath the Arabian Sea, 30 meters underwater. What they found was not coral, not a shipwreck, not a random pile of underwater rocks. It was far more precise, far more intelligent, far more impossible. Using advanced side scan sonar, the team revealed a massive grid of geometric structures: long straight walls, perfectly aligned blocks, rectangular platforms, symmetrical formations that stretched across an area larger than many modern cities. Roads, pillars, foundations, even the outline of what looked like an ancient dockyard. These were not natural formations. This was a city. And not just any city. A planned, engineered, man-made urban settlement lying deep beneath the ocean. Underwater archaeologists went further. They dove into the currents and recovered real artifacts, anchors made of stone, pottery fragments, tools, and most astonishing of all, a piece of wooden debris embedded within the ruins themselves. They sent that wood for carbon dating, expecting perhaps something a few thousand years old. What came back shocked even the most skeptical scientists. 7500 BC. Let that date sit with you. That's over 9,000 years ago. It predates Mesopotamia. It predates the Egyptian pyramids. It even predates the Indus Valley civilization, once considered the crown jewel of ancient Indian urbanism. If this city was real and dated correctly, it would be the oldest known urban civilization on Earth. The man who championed this discovery was Dr. S.R. Rao, one of India's most respected archaeologists and a former official of the Archaeological Survey of India. And Dr. Rao wasn't just guessing. He had maps, measurements, sonar scans, dive footage, and detailed comparisons between the submerged ruins and the descriptions of Dwarka found in ancient Indian scriptures. The layout matched. The sea-facing gateways, the long causeways, the jetty-like structures. It was all there, just as the Mahabharata described thousands of years earlier. Dr. Rao published paper after paper. He presented his findings in academic journals. He provided peer-reviewed analysis. He sounded the alarm. We may have found the real Dwarka, Krishna's lost city, at the bottom of the sea. And how did the Western academic world respond? With silence, deafening silence. No prime-time documentaries, no international headlines, no TED Talks, no breathless coverage from the same outlets that spend millions chasing theories about Atlantis in the Atlantic. Why? Because if this discovery is true, if Dwarka is real and older than every other known city, then the narrative of history we've been taught for generations collapses. It rewrites the story of where urban life began. It challenges the West's claim to the cradle of civilization. It proves that ancient India, long dismissed as mystical and mythical, was actually a pioneer of science, engineering, and urban development thousands of years before the Greeks even learned to write. That's not just inconvenient. To some, that's unacceptable. So instead of curiosity, there was silence. Instead of celebration, there was suppression. Because Dwarka doesn't just threaten the history books, it threatens the entire foundation of Western historical pride. Two cities, two myths, both advanced, both lost to the sea, but only one has physical ruins, scientific dating, and a written cultural memory thousands of years old. So ask yourself, if the story of Atlantis came from one Greek philosopher and that became global legend, why has Dwarka, with ancient texts, archaeology, and carbon-dated ruins, been labeled a myth? This is the hypocrisy. This is the suppression. And this is exactly why we exist. To challenge it. Dwarka is not just a city. It's a question mark carved into the ocean floor. A city that may rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history. So now we turn to you. Is this India's Atlantis? Or are we still clinging to colonial narratives that refuse to accept that ancient India may have been thousands of years ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Debunk it, defend it, debate it. We'll be reading everything. If you believe truth shouldn't be filtered through Western textbooks, subscribe to the History Alchemists. Because history is finally fighting back.